The man at the cusp of the Indian badminton revolution. I mean, I keep feeling very privileged and proud every time I speak to him about what's happening. Delighted with what happened with Srikanth?
I think it's fantastic. I think the performances especially has been spectacular this year, and it's great to Srikanth win the way he's done.
You told me on the 8th of September when you and I spoke in Delhi that once he's at peace with his mind, you will see title after title.
Well, what we are seeing is, in my opinion, still the tip of the iceberg. I think what he is capable of, he showed in both the finals. The way he's demolished players in those two matches was spectacular. And the overall, the caliber he has and the kind of on-court acumen he has makes him a very special player, and hopefully, God willing, we'll have many, many more titles by the end of his career.
Gopi, I'm not a badminton expert, but thanks to you, I've now gotten into badminton in a major way. At least I follow the sport. What struck for me was his third game or deciding game ability to soak in pressure. Whether it was Axel Sen when he finished off 22-20, and then third game was a breeze, with many other opponents. I mean, his ability one down to come back in the second game, that for me has been quite special.
I think today when we look at Indian badminton in the men's side, we have a bunch of players who, even when they talk amongst themselves, the quality which they talk among themselves also about Srikanth is the fact that come 17 and 18, and Srikanth is a totally different player. Everything gets going at that stage, and that's what makes it special. I think you've mentioned those games against Victor and Winky Wong, but also the match which at least the players in the team are talking about is the Pranay versus Srikanth's match, which wasn't on live television, but it was one of the highest quality matches where Pranay dominated majority of the match, even by Srikanth's words. And then Srikanth turned it out at the very end. So that's a special quality which he has, and the strokes which he has and the angles which he finds makes him very exciting.
And his defense, I mean, he's retrieving balls. I mean, I was quite taken. I mean, that 17-18 and that dive, and he picked that up and he retrieved that point against that Chinese fellow, Yuki, defending champion, when he was down one game 16-18, was unreal.
Well, I think that was one rally which actually not only won the point, but in a way actually changed the complete complexion, because what was twice winners in the rally he picked up, and it actually broke Shiyuki in that game. So his legs, in fact, some of the movements have been so explosive. It's amazing to watch, and he's a quality act and a great defense, and today, under the conditions which have been with little faster clothes, with a bit of drift, he is literally unbeatable in a lot of those conditions.
Couple of questions before I close this. One, Sindhu. Again, she was pretty good making the semi-finals in France. Not the best against Yamaguchi, but she's right up there. I mean, is it now the final finesse before you go on to Commonwealth, Asian Games, All England?
It's going to be a tough year next year with the kind of Super Series going up, and also in addition, we as a country have the toughest schedule, because we have Commonwealth and Asian Games both to compete in. So it makes a very tough schedule for next year. And Sindhu, for me, is definitely going to be one of the favorites in any of the tournaments. And these were tough conditions for the kind of game Sindhu has. But she's somebody who's not far from a big win, and I do expect something big to come from her. But she's played well. I think she beat players like Chen Yufei, whom she had lost in Denmark. She beat her in France, and that was a good win. And overall, pretty happy with her game, except the match which she played against Yamaguchi.
Final question. Sindhu, world number 3, 4, 2. Srikanth now 2. Pranay is silently creeping up also. I mean, if I've followed them very closely, Sai Praneeth, Pranay, all of them, I mean, everyone's lurking around the top 15 now. So maybe come Tokyo, this is a crop that I can call a revolution, or is it too early?
Well, I think it would be a little early. I think there is surely huge potential in all of the players, and I really want Prannoy to come and win a big one, because he's beaten the big guns, and he's in fact helped Srikanth wash off half the draw here in Indonesia. He did that, and he's when he comes big, he's also going to be somebody who's going to be very strong. And Indian men's badminton, women's badminton, I think gradually over the years we've kind of moved stage by stage. Also, I'm hoping that our women's doubles gets to the Dubai Super Series finals, because they have a small chance there. We've had Satvik and Chirag reach quarters there against the world number one. They had a very close match, and then we had Sikki and Pranav reach the semi-finals in Japan. So we are looking trickling in every event. We are starting to see the results. When I see all of them together at the big event, that's when I would really call it a revolution, and more juniors coming up is what I would think. But at the moment, very happy with the way things have progressed, and very positive signs for Indian badminton.
Yeah, that's I think the best statement. Very positive signs for Indian badminton. Revolution, maybe I'm shooting the gun off a little bit, but if you see all of them, even Satvik and Chirag in that match against Matthias Bo, the way they came back after losing 8-21 was phenomenal. That tells you something good is going on, and the man who to me deserves a lot of the credit is Gopichand. Modest as ever, but I'll keep talking to him as we progress towards the Commonwealth, towards the Asian Games, and towards the Tokyo Olympics. Thanks for watching.